gassing it again. One man told me, and bearing in mind, yeah, this was the same summer that we got Raya in. One man told me that Onana was the best signing of the summer. That's what a man told me. These are the United fans that are walking around God's green earth right now.
Yes, guys, welcome to another episode of Over the Line, the football debate show by fans for fans. My name is Dave O, the host of the show, and joining me today we have Gavin and Nigel. Guys, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good to have you guys on. So, for today's episode, it's going to be quite a United-focused one today. Nigel, resident United fan, so it's good to have you on for this particular episode. So we're going to be talking about Marcus Rashford's transfer to Barcelona, and then we're going to move into comments made by Ruben Amorim about United's expected struggles last season. And then we're going to touch on the squad building that has taken place so far this summer. How does that sound to you guys?
Sounds great. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so as I've just stated, we're going to be starting off with the Marcus Rashford transfer to Barcelona. And the reason why I want to touch on this, okay, is because this move has been met with some interesting comments. Okay, so I'm going to read you out some quotes that has been said by a couple popular members of the media, namely Dean Saunders and Teddy Sheringham. So Marcus Rashford has moved to Barcelona on what I believe to be a season-long loan. Now, in reaction to this move, former Manchester United striker Teddy Sheringham pretty much said that he believes that Marcus Rashford does not deserve a move to Barcelona. He went on to call it a soul-destroying situation and said that Rashford does not deserve a step up like that, okay? Dean Saunders, off the back of those comments by Sheringham, has been highly critical of the move. He specifically criticised Rashford's perceived lack of effort, wandering around the pitch, questioned his work ethic, questioned his attitude, and when asked on whether he deserves that move, Saunders basically said, well, I don't think he does. Nigel, as the United fan, we're going to come to you first, okay? Give us your reaction to those comments. Why has there been such criticism for Rashford moving to a club like Barcelona? Where do you think this stems from? Is there any racial context behind it? Nigel, what are your thoughts?
What do I think? I think that Dean Saunders says that on what? Talk Sport, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's one of those shows where they have to say things to capture to get people to listen into their radio show. So you need to sensationalize everything. On Teddy Sheringham, that was a bit surprising. Do I think that if that was anyone else and another player other than Marcus Rashford, he would have been receiving the same headlines? No, I do not. But you would have seen this in normal situations when he's playing for England or Man Utd. He does something. He goes on holiday, and it's front page news versus other players doing exactly the same thing, and then they're not. If I can think of one play in particular, when he says Teddy Sheringham and Dean Saunders saying about not deserving, if you think about some of the behavior that Jack Grealish has done, I'm pretty sure that if he was to make the move over to Barcelona, they would have said this is a wonderful move for him, a fantastic step up opportunity for him to, wave the English flag and has an opportunity to be one of the best English imports since Gary Lineker, of course, something crazy like that. That's what the narrative would have been. When it comes to Marcus Rashford, and players of color, you normally see black players. Let's just call it out. You normally see situations like this and comments like that. I don't see how it holds any weight. I think he's a fantastic talent. I think he's going to do extremely well over there. And it's just what it was is that his time at Man United came to an end. And to be honest, when he called for the interview, Henry Winter, as much as I like that guy, you don't do that. And then he nailed his colours in the mask, and he wanted to move to Barcelona. And if Barcelona didn't think he was worthy of playing for Barcelona, they wouldn't have made the loan offer, and they did. So clearly, they think he's a talented individual, and he's going to pull up trees over there.
Now, when you say pulling up trees, do you think he gets into that starting lineup for him to enable him to actually do that?
After what they did last season, no, he's got to earn the shirt. But I have in that league, I think it's made for him.
Okay, Gav, we'll bring you in. What are your thoughts on what Sheringham and Saunders have had to say on Rashford's move to Barcelona?
I completely agree. I think it's quite obvious, isn't it? Like we keep ignoring it as a people, as a culture. We keep ignoring it, and it just needs. We either carry on ignoring it and don't speak about it at all, or we really speak up and like just not have it, because it's nonsense. The guy's a brand. Let's forget his footballing skills. Me personally, when it comes to the art of football, I don't really think he's done enough to have made it to Barcelona. I didn't think they would go in for him, basically, because of like what I said, that they done amazing last season. Where would a Marcus Rashford fit? He's got that move. He's done whatever he's done. His agents have done whatever he's done. Things are falling in line for him. Like, it's only hate to say, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. It's not the person. It's like when people say, oh, the player shouldn't, like, you spent too much money on that player. The player's worth what he's worth.
Yes.
What people are willing to pay, should I say? And if someone's willing to loan and pay his portion of his wages, etc., he deserves it. He's done enough in his career to clearly deserve it. Would I if I was the sporting director of Barcelona, would I have got him? Probably not, if I'm being honest. But I think chips fell in his favor with what happened with Williams. So it worked out for him. Congrats to the bro. But like you said, if it was someone else of a different pigmentation, it would have been lauded and like, oh, this English scarlet's going to go over there and he's going to tear up the league and etc. etc. So, but if I'm Rashford, I just ignore the noise, because for me, a lot of it comes from space of he's doing what I wish I could have done in my career. When you hear a speak so much vim, it's a hater. Like, you're jealous, bro. Like, you didn't get to Barcelona, you didn't get to make all this money, you didn't get to live his life. He's living it, and more credit to him. If you didn't think he was good enough, or you're surprised by it, like me, I was pretty surprised. I said, nah. For me, I said he needs to lower his expectations. Like Barcelona might, because he was so determined to get there. But if a man turns around and achieves something that I didn't think he could achieve, that's my issue. Nothing to do with him. Well done. Like, he achieved his goal. Congrats to him.
Yeah. I'm wondering if, obviously, we've touched on the fact that there's a bit of racial connotation behind some of the criticism on this move. I'm sat here and I'm wondering, like, Rashford just seems like a guy who doesn't seem to be able to do anything right. Because I remember during the pandemic, what was he doing? Like, he was doing some sort of initiative about, school dinners or something along those lines, and he was still getting criticism. And I just wonder where this really stems from, because it can't just be, I'd like to think anyway, that it can't just be a race-related thing. But when you hear some of the comments that are being made and from who they're coming from, and then you look at players like Grealish that has been mentioned, you look at players like Foden, whose performances last season, fell off the side of the earth. Players like Cole Palmer, even, who, I believe he went a number of months without scoring a goal for Chelsea. And the criticism that in fact, there was virtually no criticism for players like that. But then you have a player like Rashford who, is doing something positive, like school dinners, getting criticised, making a move to Barcelona, getting criticised. I just wonder if, I don't want to simplify it to just being about racism, but I do wonder, the deeper roots as to what the problem actually is. Because for me personally, I find it weird how you can criticize him for making a step up from Manchester United to Barcelona. Barcelona came in, gave him the move, and everyone in their right mind will take that move. So for me, it's just a bit weird. And Saunders went on to say something further, like started talking about the car that he drives and said, don't drive this car, drive a lesser flashy car, and something like a Range Rover he was advising to drive. And I'm like, you're now telling the man how to spend his own money. Like, what is this? What exactly is going on here? So it's just a bit weird.
Well, you already do know what it is. And can I, when we say he doesn't deserve to play for Barcelona, do you know what their forward line is? Can I ask you a question? When they signed Rafinha from Leeds, like, what was anyone thinking then? What was Dean Saunders saying then? When they got Fernand Torres, who couldn't make it at Man City, right? He got bombed out of Man City, and now he's playing up top for Barcelona. Was Dean Saunders have anything to say then? Right, Marcus Rashford, maybe as a whole, Man United during this time there hasn't achieved what you would have expected us to achieve. But if you're asking me, if I was the sporting director of Barcelona, would I choose Marcus Rashford or Fernand Torres? I'm telling you now, I'll choose Marcus Rashford all day, every day. So he does have a place in that. He does have room. He has good competition, and I think he only needs to knock one person out of that team, and I think he's more than capable, got the talent to do that.
Who's that?
Fernand Torres. And Lewandowski now is on Zimmer frame, so he's going to be playing less games. So there's an opportunity for him. It's up to him whether or not he decides to grasp it.
They've got a plan. They've got a plan. They're not going to just sign him just for him to, as a favor. They owe Rashford nothing. They've got a plan for him.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, Dave, I without trying to bring it away from Man United, but I think it's more it's a black thing. It is a black thing because you see the same thing with Saka. Like, he's not as flamboyant as a Rashford. Rashford's very much. It's people from our culture will understand it more. I think Rashford is more flamboyant, shows more of a Caribbean background in the way that he may dress and the way he carries himself as a British-born Caribbean. But then Rashford is very much comes from my observation, the more church background Nigerian family.
Saka, you mean?
Saka, sorry.
Yeah, Saka.
That's how I see it. That's my take on it. But if with the character, if his name wasn't Bukayo Saka, which is a very African, it's a strong Nigerian name. Like, if his name was Barry Smith from Norwich instead of Nigeria, he would be lauded as the next best thing. But because he is Bukayo Saka from Nigeria, he doesn't behave like anyone that wants to be British either. He's unapologetically Nigerian. You can tell his mum and his dad have a very key part in his upbringing, and he comes from, and that's what we recognize when you understand their culture.
Yeah,
they don't like that. They want you to conform. They want you to probably change your name or have a no disrespect to bro, but like an Anthony Joshua instead of calling yourself Femi, because you can fit into the brand of being sponsored by Under Armour and being lauded as the icon of British sport. But when you're Bukayo Saka, this is me, this is who I am, no matter how good you are, they're never going to put you on that pedestal. This is why, when my opinion, again, it pains me to say it because he played for United, when Rio was the best defender in the league, for me, he didn't get the armband. Like, he didn't get to play up top when he was scoring the most goals. He didn't even get to England. We've been seeing it for years. It's not, I don't think it's a Rashford thing. I think it's an English thing. He is at the one of the most popular clubs to speak about in the country, and he does bring it on himself. But why can't he wear a big fur coat and glasses and diamonds and sit on the courtside like he's a rapper? Because it's his money. Like, he's sacrificed his whole life to be able to do that. Like, let him do what to do. Because if Grealish can go out, people seem to forget. We was in lockdown.
Yes,
he was outside in someone else's dressing gown with one shoe on, drunk as a skunk in the middle of the morning, talking about. I swear he crashed his Range or something. Could you imagine if it was this guy we got on the screen right now? You'd have been finished. To leave the country. You would have to go and play in Turkey or something. But Grealish is all right. Grealish, you can go and play for Man City. Here's your treble. Don't do nothing for X amount of seasons, and you'll get a move to a Barcelona, wherever he ends up next, and you'll be like, oh yeah, Jack Grealish can make it back into the England fold. It is what it is. We know, we understand it, but we need to accept it.
Of course, we understand it, and we do have to accept it. It's just the way things are. But you mentioned Grealish after the treble. How many times did you see him play last season, David? This man costs 100 million. Can you imagine if we paid 100 million for Rashford and he had the season that he had? Can you imagine? So yeah, it's not equal, but it is what it is. We just have to accept
Yeah.
it, and it's good. It's good that he's left the country. It's good that he's away for the limelight. This guy's got talent, and you're going to see it.
Yeah, it's good that he is away from the limelight, and that should hopefully help him get back to scoring goals and perhaps get a permanent move away from Manchester United, which moves us nicely on to the next subject, Manchester United, namely this guy, Ruben Amorim.
Ooh.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing Amorim up, okay, is because he's made an interesting comment. Now, I'm going to read out some of it, okay, and Nigel, we'll come to you after I've read this out for your reaction to this, okay? So, Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim says that he travelled to games last season fearful of what was going to happen to his team. He said that all the struggles that he had in games, I felt it before. That was the hardest part, he says. To go to games and know that we are not going to be competitive, I was really frustrated. Okay. Amorim then goes on to say that he does not feel that now, so he's a bit more confident now. Okay. He says that he has a less romantic view of the job. Interesting, because he's only been there for less than a year and he already has a less romantic view of the job. But he sees the positives that make him believe better days are ahead. Nige, on hearing that, do you share the belief that better days are ahead? Give me your thoughts on Amorim's comments and what it was like as a United fan following your team over this last 12 months.
Okay. The only thing, first of all, I don't like any manager speaking like this. I'll just say that now. But the thing that he was lauded for, especially after Ten Hag, about his honesty and how great he is with the media, you can't then come and beat him. So what he is saying is that when he was offered the job, he said, "I don't want it now. I want it at the end of the season. Please, this team is not ready to play the system that I would like to play." We said now or never, and then he joined. The only thing I would then say is that at the end of the day, you're a coach. I believe from upstairs, they would have said to him, no matter what happens this season, just don't get relegated and we'll back you. He must have been told that because there's no, and obviously he gave up the league in order to go for the Europa League. Fine, whatever. But I can't believe that you'd have a setup. Say again? Did he?
Did he? He gave up the league to go for the Europa League. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, 100%. He gave up the lead to go for the when we got through to the latter stages. Not when he first came. Obviously, he was trying to win, and then obviously when he saw that we weren't going to get beyond 10th, he put everything towards it. Not as much as what's the name, Postecoglou did. Nah, he really went all out for the Europa League. But we're playing Joe Roby and stuff for this. So yeah, of course he gave up on the league, and he was trying to focus on the Europa League, which went extremely well until the final. But regardless, when he said that he was coming in, he said that it was going to be tough. He didn't want the job there and then. The only thing I don't accept is that you still have to. You change the system up. Then you play to what you have, right? At the end of the day, you're the coach, and you lead the players on. If you're asking me about a silver lining in previous years, in all the bosses that we have had since Moyes, really, they've all said it's rotten to the core. We need to clear out. We need this. We need that. Everyone, even Ralph Rangnick came in when he was there for 6 months. Actually, he said the same thing that Amorim said. Everyone has echoed this, apart from Solskjaer. Solskjaer said that I can come in and be everyone's friends. So we've actually put people in position of power and tried all these different techniques with these players, and we have still fallen short. What's actually amazing is that the amount of finals that we've managed to get to, and in this period of being the worst that I can't believe how much we've actually won during this time. That in itself deserves a round of applause. But all that would have happened is that if we did win the Europa League, it would have just masked over like we did with Ten Hag when he won the FA Cup, and we would have said, you know what, maybe it's not that bad. Let's go again. The great thing about it is that when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. So I don't accept that during this when he was in situ, some of the performances that I saw, that I don't accept. He did say that he would prefer to come at the end of the season, and it was now or never. He got given that. He's now had half a season to really look at the squad, see who and what he doesn't want, and that's why you've now got what's called the bomb squad, right? I don't want these players. Get them out. I fully agree with the players that he wants out. To be honest with you, a couple more would be great, but I don't think he could do all that in one summer. And he's saying happier days are ahead. Of course, it has to be. Otherwise, he won't be in the job if it doesn't happen. But but yeah, I have complete faith that you will not see the Man United that you saw last season.
All right, Gav, before we come to you, because I know Nigel's said a lot there that you want to respond to, let me just quickly throw this at him. You mentioned the bomb squad there, Nigel, so I'm assuming you mean guys like Sancho, Rashford, who has gone, Garnacho, guys like that.
And Anthony, Malacia,
yeah. Why is it now? Maybe because I don't concentrate that much on other clubs other than my own Arsenal, right? Why is it, okay, that it seems with United players, they seem, in recent history, post-Fergie, they seem to leave the club in the most shambolic of ways. Like we've seen Garnacho liking posts about him being moved to Chelsea, walking out in Aston Villa shirts, Sancho saying freedom when Rashford got the move to Villa. You know, like, why is it all of your players in recent history just seem to just embarrass themselves and embarrass the club in the process? What's going on there?
Ronaldo, you've got Ronaldo.
I forgot Ronaldo.
Ronaldo was a bit more than that. He was talking about literally the whole structure and core of the club, right? He went beyond than just saying he doesn't want to be here, and he wasn't doing stupidness that what Sancho is doing. If you ask me, do I like the way he did it? No, but he wanted to get out, but he said what everyone was thinking.
Walking interview, bruv.
Yeah. I said, am I happy with what he did and calling him Piers Morgan? No, I'm not. But what he did actually say, and he wanted a way out, and that was his way out. But if you ask him, but what he did say, if you listen to what he said, is everything that we know. At the time we was talking, the roof was leaking. I mean, what do you want to say?
Can they fix it?
Oh man! All right, Gav, let's bring you here. Okay, so what are your thoughts on what Amorim has said and the current state of well, you said brighter days are ahead pretty much for United. What's your take on it?
That's the bit that confuses me. And like, is he just he's meant to be Mr. Honesty, but or with that, I want to know if he's just trying to protect his position. And maybe Nigel can tell me, like, what does brighter days look like? How were these brighter days gonna come?
Well, do you know what? I'll tell you. I'll give you an example of what a brighter day is. Everything that David just said just now, right? With the disrespect that a lot of the players have aimed towards, first of all, their boss, and most importantly, the club and their fans. That bomb squad means we are getting rid of every single one of this cancer that you've been talking about that's been happening over the last 10 years. That
who have you sold out of the bomb squad?
Who we sold out the bomb squad?
Yeah, who have you sold out of the bomb squad? Sorry.
Yeah, every single one of them on the transfer list. No, and he's already said to them.
No. My question was, who have you sold out of the bomb squad? I feel like Rashford. I think Rashford will be back in 12 months.
Rashford. Well, if he's back in 12 months, it means he's had a disastrous spell at Barcelona, right?
The only in that deal, the only parties who don't have any upside is Man United. If he goes there, has a stinker, he's going to come back to Man United and be getting paid big money again.
Yeah, and then he will go. And then he will go.
Barcelona, he will have if he goes there and has a stinker, Man United will have another player that they don't want on their books a year with less time on his contract worth. I don't get why they didn't just sell him for cheap. Is what.
Okay, wait, hold on. First of all, we got 50, anything between 15 and 18 million pounds off the wage bill. First and foremost. Second of all, he's got an opportunity. Wait, hold on. He's got an opportunity to play and to perform. And even if Barcelona can't afford him and don't want to take up the offer, many other clubs would. If Aston Villa made the Champions League, they would have bought him for 40 million, right? So maybe it will not be at the height of Barcelona, those types of clubs, but maybe a Newcastle will take him or whatever it is. I can guarantee you, if this guy if any of these players wants to play football, They are professional football. It is their profession. It is in their best interest. You're talking about Man United. It's in their best interest and their agent's best interest, and that's how they get paid, by the way, to move them on. For me, it's very clear. What I would be very upset is if, like last season, when we did put Sancho out, and then Ten Hag had to bring him into the preseason, it killed him, right? This time, the board has said, whatever happens, just like you did with Aubameyang and your Ozils and all of that, get them. We are going to clear the decks and we're going to get them out and we're going to rebuild. At the end of the day, he's a footballer. He needs to play, right? We got money to pay him and leave him leave him aside. Don't worry about Man United. We're good, right? Gorkaras, his agent said, you know what? I'm going to slash my fee, right?
I don't know if you are
He's
good.
gonna listen. Don't worry. We got money. We got money, right? If it means that he has to run out the contract, and all that matters because of PCR, we could have cancelled the contract, but because of the stupid PSR, sorry, we can't do that. So the contract we'd have to let the contract expire so it doesn't be negative on our books. It actually works in our favor to pay him, let his contract expire, and he goes on a free, and then he's not a negative on our books. That's how messed up this whole system is, right?
Okay.
To
quote Gary Neville, he said how what's that guy's name? You lot so Ineos, I forgot his name. Ratcliffe had 300 mil because of United's financial situation. So you lot having money. I don't know where United fans get that from, but let's say you do. You're saying stupid PSR. That's as good as not having money, because when you look over at Newcastle, they've got the richest people in the world that own it. They've got money.
Yeah, and because of PSR, they can't spend. It's exactly the same.
Exactly. So it's like, for me, it's like having illegal money that you can't spend. Like, you don't have money, bro. It looks like you got money. It looks pretty, but you can't spend it. And what I'm getting at is that the amount of money that United are in a bit of a cycle. You're going to keep on needing to spend money, but can't spend money because you're not qualifying for the bigger trophies. So where I'm going back to is the question of, where are these brighter days? Because what is a brighter day for you?
No. You misunderstand. We with the previous management, we overspent and we went way over, right? And it's in 3-year cycles, which is where we're in right now, right? Once we're past this and the next 3-year cycles come in with our turnover, which is over 500 million a season, like, we're good. I'm saying, don't worry about us. It's just right now in this 3-year period that we just need to get through. And that's 3 years. It is.
Do you not think that you can fall quite far behind the rest of the pack in those 3 years?
But what does that mean? What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I remember the pain I felt when Robin van Persie left us to go to United. I remember when we would go for players, and if Man United are bidding for that player, we're not getting him. These were real things for us. This summer, manager's protege that he's made into the best striker in Europe, numbers-wise, said, I don't want to go to you lot. I'm going to Arsenal. If you lot are bidding for a play, like, you lot have had to step out of, as big Man United, you've had to step out of the conversation of strikers until everyone else has made their moves. Being a man of similar age to me.
We're seeing this in different.
I'm giving you my perspective though, so hear me out. You remember the rivalry of Arsenal Man United. You know the rivalry of Liverpool Man United. You're not having to watch these teams do what they're doing because they're in a new world we're in a new world of football right now. Arsenal finished second in the league and got to the semi-finals of the Champions League and made £100 million worth of revenue just from competitions. That's crazy. That blows my mind. Chelsea went to America for 4 weeks or whatever it was, come back with $100 million in prize money. Man United aren't doing it. So what I'm saying is, the 3-year cycle you're speaking about is a very good point, but by the time you've caught up, the rest of the teams you're competing with could be out of it because of what they're doing consistently.
Okay, but this is where we disagree, and this is what we're trying to change, because what the examples you just gave previously, we would have spent the money and got them in and been landed with a Sancho and all of this stuff. We were competing. We were, all the big names that you're speaking of, we were competing and getting them, right? But now what we're building is that we're building a squad and for the system. All right, and we're trying to learn the lessons of the past. We will still
Nige,
pick up very, very exceptionally good players. Yes.
Nige, I got to interject. Sorry, I do try to let you guys go, but you've said something there that I got to call you out on, right? You've just said in years gone by, you would have spent the money, basically outspending the competition to get the guys that you want, right? That's what you mean, yeah?
Yeah, with everyone.
Okay,
Maguire, with
fair
Sancho,
enough.
with everyone.
Now,
Sanchez, sorry.
this moves me on very nicely to these two that I'm going to put up on screen now. Okay, I got to applaud you for this segue opportunity. We've got Cunha and Mbeumo on screen, right? Two guys who, in my opinion, especially with Mbeumo, you went and outspent the competition to land them. You're still making the same mistakes that you've alluded to. Okay. So, as Gav has questioned, where are these brighter days coming from? Because it seems to me your club is still doing what it did in all of history, which was spend. You might not be spending the same way or to the same level that we've been previously accustomed to, but you guys went and spent and outspent the competition to get Cunha and to get Mbeumo, okay? And now you're talking about the 3-year cycle that you're in. Gav has made a very, very good point here. You're kind of falling behind the competition. The teams that you're traditional for competing with, the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Chelseas, okay? You're spending big money to bring what I believe are players that aren't really going to get you to the promised land where you feel you should be as a club. Like, is Cunha and Mbeumo going to deliver that Premiership title challenge? We don't know, but they might do. But from where we stand, the money that you're spending on these guys, you could have gone and got yourself a Sesko a long time ago. You could have gone if you're willing to outspend the competition. Why not spend on true, genuine?
Wait, hold on. Sesko's a true, genuine, world-class player. Is that what you just said?
World-class potential is what is.
No, wait, hold on, wait. Let me ask you guys a question. In your opinion, what's the best league in the world?
For what?
Yeah.
What's the best league in the world?
For what?
For football.
Most entertaining league in the world.
No, what's the best league in your opinion in the world? I just want to know. And then give me your top two. Give me your top two. Oh, okay, your Nigerian 50th. Okay, cool. So okay, then your audiences, I'm sure a lot of them who'll be watching this show will probably.
Premier League is the best league in the world. That's what the consensus is. Go on. What's
okay?
Point
should we say top two?
Whatever.
But we need to be in agreement before I say this, because if not, then you're Sesko. Then you're choosing Sesko over one of these guys. Then that's your argument. Then what can I say? If you think
let's speak about Mbeumo in particular. Why is that such a crazy statement?
Okay. Now, so before we go into this, can we also look up? I just want to. Why do you think it's expensive? Why do you think £65 million is expensive for Mbeumo? I just need to understand that. So once I understand it, then I can respond.
I think for 65 million, we don't know if it's expensive, because if he comes in and he tears it up, which I don't think he will. I don't think he will do as well as he did at Brentford, personally. If he does prove me wrong, then kudos, like, well done, congrats. But I think he's had one season when he's been like, wow, like if Arsenal can't gas up certain players and we get pulled down for saying people have had a great season and they're this level of player, we can't keep doing this with Man United. I got gaslit with not by you, but this is the first conversation I've had with you about football, but this is why my mind is the way it is. Xerxes, I was gaslit about him. He's gonna come in, he's gonna do this. Højlund, gaslit. He's the best thing since sliced bread. He's gonna come in and he's gonna be bagging goals for us. He's gonna change everything. Ugarte, that's all we need. We need an Ugarte. He's gonna come in and change everything. Who else was there? Mainu had a couple of good months. I think he's a good player, but he is the truth. He's the next best thing. Gaslit again. One man told me, and bearing in mind, this was the same summer that we got Raya in. One man told me that Onana was the best signing of the summer. That's what a man told me. These are the United fans that are walking around God's green earth right now. So for me, I'm seeing Mbeumo and I'm seeing all this money spent and I'm seeing the same excitement. And the man will backtrack now and say he means something different now. But when you sign Cunha, people were saying you lot are in the title race. And it's the same. It's the same shit again. But then when we start realizing, oh, actually, hang on a second, Liverpool just spent $500 million. Arsenal managed to get Gyökeres over us. Chelsea just signed João Pedro and half of the Premier League as well. We might not make top 4 now because Man City is still here too. That's when reality starts to set in. And for me, if you lot ain't making Champions League and you still got Maguire playing centre back in 2026, I don't see the brighter days. I genuinely don't see it. You're going to play a back three.
So wait, are we talking about bright days, or are we asking me about Mbeumo right now? Because the players that you just mentioned of Man United just now,
I don't get how the two faces on the screen bring brighter days to Man United, especially with Amorim at the helm. Because unless you're getting Thomas Frank with it, I don't see Mbeumo being the same Mbeumo person.
And Nige, before you go, before you go, Nige, we'll give it a last say on this topic, okay? The reason why I've brought up these two in particular, okay, is that United's spending kind of doesn't make sense to me, okay? All season long, the talk has been, oh, United need a striker, okay? I don't see any of these two playing up front for you guys, so you still need that striker, okay? Your best player, Bruno Fernandes, is less effective when he's pushed back into midfield. The signing of these two now guarantees that is where he's going to play, okay? Your spending makes no sense to me. What would have made more sense was to get one of these guys, put Bruno in the 10, get yourself a big boy central midfielder like Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace, for example, and then sign your striker. But
you know what? Can I just say, you guys are going all over the place, right?
How?
So what's your point? What's your point? No, really, you guys are flip-flopping everywhere. I can't. So many opinions, and you guys have changed your narrative so many times. I can't even zone in on one. What is your point? And let's discuss the point.
My point is, and I think what Dave's saying as well, is that much like you're saying, our point is United spending's a bit all over the place. I don't think you've got what you needed to get these. And also, there's two things. Sorry, we don't think you've done enough to get brighter days, from our opinion, and from your side of the table. Where are we wrong, and what does brighter days look like, and how do you see you getting there? That's what I think the question should be.
So, are our players gonna get us there? Okay, so let me ask you a simple question: are these two better than the two you saw? Out of Rashford, out of Garnacho, out of Anthony, out of any other player you want to mention? Are these two better than any of those names? And Sancho.
Rashford is better than both of them, personally.
That's why he's playing for Barcelona.
Okay, cool. And
he deserves to go to Barcelona. So
yeah, and he said he doesn't want to play for Man United. So again, my question is, Cunha versus the guy who doesn't want to play for Man United, who's better?
Technically, or for you lot?
Really, guys. No, it's a simple question. Cunha versus the guy who doesn't want to play for Man United, who's better?
Cunha, I get what you're saying. Cunha's a better option for you because
good, thank you. And then Mbeumo versus Anthony or Sancho, whoever else you want to put there, who's better?
Amad Diallo.
Yeah,
Amad Diallo is in the team playing right wing back. That's how we started and did exceptionally well, by the way.
Okay, go on, carry on.
Right, so. I don't know about the people who spoke to you about Højlund or your Xerxes or Uwana, but what I can tell you, they had no Premier League experience, and we took a punt, and it didn't work out to date. Right? I'm praying that at least Onana comes through, because he needs to stop throwing the ball in the back of the net, and that's at least another 10. That's at least another 10 points. I'm telling you right now. Okay, these two scored nearly more goals than we scored the whole of last season. So for me, that's already an improvement. Okay. And David, to your point, you can either play Fernandes back. He might go false 9, right? He might push a Mbeumo up top or Cunha up top. Who knows? But that's the beautiful thing, is that now we've got a squad with options. And when I'm looking at transfers, I'm like, so who do you want to sign? What, Kudus for 50 million? Would that make you happy? Right?
Who did well previous seasons?
Cunha and Mbeumo.
Mbeumo's only got double-figure goals in the league in 24-25.
And what did he get the previous season? And if you look at, and then how many games did he play? And if you look at goals per game, his goals per game average has actually got better over time.
I'll tell you, I've got it all here. Like you said, the internet. 23-24, he played 25 games and got 9 goals. 22-23, he played 38 games and got 9 goals. 21-22, he played 35 games and got 4 goals.
Yeah, so 4 goals, right? You said. And then what was it after that? Wait, hold on. Then what was it after that?
What do you mean?
I think you said 9 goals. So start from the bottom when his first season and then go up.
I don't know when his first season was, in fairness, but since 2021.
No, when he scored the 4. I mean, in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, 2021-22, he got 4 goals.
Yeah.
22-23, he got 9 goals. 23.
In how many games? In 38 games, right?
The least amount of games he's played is 25 games, and that was in 23-24.
And he got 9. Is it 9 goals?
9 goals, yeah.
Right. So and then last season, so I'm saying his goals per game has increased every season. So he's actually got better.
He had one good season in my book. He had one good season for the price tag. He had one.
All right, let me ask you a different question. On playing on the wing, a goal every 3 games. Would you say that's good or bad? Because if you think it's terrible, then I understand your point. Thank you. So he's gone from 1 in 3 and then to 1 in 2 in a bit last season. So every season he's got better when you look at goals per game, right? Really, he's improved.
Right.
And now he's earned the right to a step up. But again, my question to you is this: who do you want to sign, Madueke? Who do you want to sign? Kudos. Who do you want to sign? Tell me.
Okay, I'm just understanding. I'm trying to understand why you think this will take you to the promise. Like what? No, in fact, that's what the question you should have answered before is what the promised land is for Man United players. Because maybe I'm not understanding what that is. What success is. David asked.
This is what I think. If we manage to get the players who are casting a shadow over the club out, right? And I wouldn't even mind so much if we ended up with Malacia and Anthony. I'm actually fine with them being around the squad. They're not troublemakers from what I can see. If you get the other ones out and get that cloud, get the front page and the back page headlines out of my club, I'll be delighted, and then we can all focus, right? If you're asking me, at 1 game a week, essentially, do I think we could push for top 5? Champions League is top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do I think we're better than Arsenal? No. Do I think we're better than Man United? No. Liverpool? No. Do I think we're better than Man City? No. Do I think at 1 game a week, right? With we have one of the best defenses, by the way, even with Awana chucking in goals, right? With a settled system where they can really train and get to know Amorim's system. Ideally, we get another striker top, but even if we don't, I think with no injuries, major injuries, I think there is enough for us to get very close to top 5 this season coming.
Okay, fair enough. And on that note, we're going to end the episode there. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I look forward to having you guys on again together in the near future.